Now, general elections will be held in Nigeria on 16 February 2019. Already various aspirants are springing up to vie for the presidency. One of such aspirants is 35-year-old Adamu Garuba, who is the CEO of Lagos-based IPI Solutions Nigeria Limited. The Adamu-born recently declared interest to contest for the presidency in 2019. Mr. Garuba joins me now in the studio. It's good to have you with us.
Good to have you. Thank you very much.
Why the presidency? You're so young. You could have tried the local government, the state governorship race. So why the top job?
Yes, the issue is the program we are anchoring to fix Nigeria's many challenges is called structural reform. And this is something you can only do when you sit at the presidency. The problem we have in the country is not really an isolated challenge that can be sorted out at the local level. It's actually a comprehensive problem. The system, the making and the constitution of the entire country's governance system needs a complete overhaul. We need to unbundle the economy so that it can work for almost everybody within the country. If you look at how now our governors used to do every month, they go to Abuja to collect a share of money. You can't fix this problem until you sit at the presidency. When we are contesting on the platform on creating a supply line, building our supply lines in a supply chain defined world order where we are currently, it's going to be very difficult for you to actually fix this country if you sit on a certain level. For instance, if I said I'm going for a governor in my state, I need Taraba State to be fixed, I need Gombe State to be fixed, I need Borno to be fixed before I can stabilize my economy. So there is interconnectivity between the chains of the country. Now, what makes country work is when you build supply line around all of them, because there are some things that one section of the country that has that the only that can be supplied from another side of the country. So you need to structurally reform the economy. Unbundle the economy and open the entire country to work for everybody as opposed to working for the few that we are currently doing. You only pack mineral resources, export them out, and then bring the money into the CBN at the mercy of politicians. This cannot solve the country's numerous challenges. We need to build a lot of infrastructure to be able to connect our supply line, to address our institutional void, which is the gap between the buyer and the seller in the country that is making us even more poorer. So these are a lot of things that we need to do, and that is why I feel like until I'm sitting on the presidency, I'm lying to people. Because if you look into the country as it is now, we have very interesting senators that are making very important points in the National Assembly, but it just stays there. You just make noise and then that's it. At the end of the day, you also collect your share. If you see governors, there are some governors that have very interesting ideas in how to fix country. But once they sit at the center, they don't perform again, simply because the entire system is designed in such a way that it will not enable any political leader to actively perform to meet the needs of the country. And that is why I feel like presidency is the only solution to...
So there has to be dynamism in that aspect. That's exactly what you're looking at.
Yes,
so
yes.
Now, I'm sure a whole lot of people would like to know what platform are you going to be standing in for the elections?
It may surprise a lot of people, but I'm coming under APC.
Why APC?
Yeah, because, if you want to fix the country, if we want to address all the issues that we have, the identity crisis, the supply line challenges, the joblessness, and all other things, we need to preserve our precious institutions. Part of the precious institutions are our democratic institutions. If you check from the First Republic of Nigeria, the same political parties are the same parties that metamorphose into what gives the Second Republic. The same political parties metamorphose into Third Republic, and now we have the Republic that we are, which is the Fourth Republic. It's the same political parties. So I don't believe that the entire political party structure is bad in Nigeria. What I believe is the people inside the political party are making it look bad. So if we truly want to win election, we have to associate with the platforms that are actually carrying out the institutional history of our democracy, which I believe the APC and the PDP have this relevant history. So we cannot altogether see APC because of PDP, because these guys are bad, they've stole, they do this, they do that, and then we stay from the pathway and start pointing fingers and then say that they are bad and then we need to go to another party. We are not doing the right thing for the country's history. We need to preserve our precious monument by putting the right people inside those platforms. So if we truly want to make change, you start from political parties. And the second thing again is, my own candidacy is not on the premise of becoming the president for the young people and all these young ideas, because I have a superior manifesto that I believe if APC adopt that manifesto, is going to transform the entire country, especially under my leadership. And that is why our contesting is not for the young, but for everybody. I don't want to confront. I'm not confronting our elders. I believe there are serious, responsible people among them. I believe that we can disagree in the same parlor as a common people than when I stay from outside the window and start pointing fingers at my elders. I believe that the best solution for us to do is to sit down together and address our country's governance challenges. And I believe the APC, we've seen their primary election during 2015. It was relatively transparent. So we are looking at a very good primary election. And we, the young generation of Nigerians, actually met those parties. Okay. Why are we running away from them? Right. Why can't we start from the political party platform? So that is why I feel like going into APC is the right thing to do right now.
Now, critics will argue that you don't have the political experience at 35, yes, and you're probably going to be against heavyweights who have been in politics for some time now. So what do you say to that?
Yes, what
especially
I say
within the party APC
exactly
itself.
It's true. You know what I say to that is they should check themselves. They should look into what they have been doing since the time they've been leading this country, and they should look into the damages that the country is going into. They should look into the blood that is becoming cheaper in the country. They should look into the joblessness that is happening. They should look into all the challenges. It is obviously stating that their understanding of the model of statecraft is outdated. There is need for the entire paradigm shift in the system of governance of the country. The people that have been leading us in this country are the kind of people that are shaped by certain ideology that has gone extinct in the political arena. Because most at times their thinking is around security first, protectionist first, define world order. When we are going to a borderless, free border and supply chain, define one order. We cannot continue to be led by people that have leftist, Leninist, populist ideology. It is time for liberalization and opening of the economy. It is time for young people to get into the system and begin to define and shape the country to work in the interest of the 21st century fourth industrial revolution requirement. So this is why they know, as I know, as we know, that is very evident and clear that what they are doing, the approach they are doing to governance has not been working, and therefore it is natural, if they truly love this country, to allow the right thing to be done.
All right, Adamu, I would like your thoughts on integration. Yes. You have a nation of 250 ethnic groups with divergent views. How do you hope to unite all of them in view of what's been happening recently?
Yes, the problem is, you see, since independence, when British came and drew a line, British drew a line to define an economic entity, not a country defined by natural border. Nigeria is not defined by natural border. It's defined as an economically integrated unit because of the economic value of the country. We have massive population. During slave trade, over 12 million slaves were exported through the Bight of Biafra and Bight of Benin in Nigeria. Now, we have a lot of resources in terms of cocoa, which British acquired during their industrialization, in terms of cotton, in terms of groundnut, in terms of palm kernel. That is why they drew this line and called this entity Nigeria. Coupled with the fact that we have some strategic advantages. We have River Niger flowing within our hinterland. We have River Benue. We have a shoreline about 853 miles that is large. So this is very strategic to British advantage. When they pull out and give us independence, the leaders, though very patriotic and responsible leaders, when they took over the governance of the country, they did not focus on the economy, which is the main reason why we are together. They focused on the politics part of it. The regional parties came to form the center. So there is no deliberate effort to unite the country as a common entity. There is always about, let me take my share and take to my region, because their allegiance, then the leaders, primarily was to their region. And that is why part of our manifesto is to come up with a deliberate 2-year campaign to define the principle of what is to be a Nigeria.
You keep saying a manifesto. Is it your manifesto or the APC's manifesto?
It's actually, the APC have a manifesto. When I look into the manifesto of the APC, up, down, I believe there is a complete reformation that is required in that manifesto, because most of the content of the manifesto within the APC structure currently is not more than we are going to build roads. this cannot define a comprehensive proposition. I want to see how and what are you going to do, and what do you need to connect the dots to give me that road, and why? What do you think when you build this road is going to do? You know, I don't want to hear I want to create jobs by them putting Npower. Npower cannot give you job. What gives job is the private organizations, the enterprise, the business organizations. Why can't you create enabling policy to power them so that they can hire more and then produce more and then get more consumption and then keep production and then enable the economy? So I believe the entire manifesto of the APC structure is an issue. And that is why it is very important for us to go in and holistically revolve around this manifesto to fully fix the country. And one of the reasons why I even choose that party is because I am not contesting to fight my aggression or to point anger at someone. No, I believe the problem we're having in the country is a system. It's a systematic problem. No matter how sincere and good you are, we have good, responsible, and sincere people within the APC. They are in government, but unfortunately, the system cannot allow them to go. And all of us are shaped by design. And that is why, if you want to win and do the right thing, it is very important for you to go to where you need to win. So I do not want negative energy to drag me into election. Pointing fingers, fighting people, attacking people, calling names. I don't want negative energy. I want a positive energy because I'm contesting to win the election. And that is why I'm going there.
Very good, Adam. Now, in a democracy, there has to be checks and balances. Would you say, in terms of the opposition now, you know, based on what you just said, have they lived up to expectations? It's only one voice we hear most of the time out of a party of like almost 80 of them at the moment now.
That's true.
What are your thoughts on that?
Yes, you know...
Are there, you know, criticisms constructive enough?
Yes,
based on what is happening
the criticisms are mostly are negative criticisms. We want Goodluck Jonathan out at all costs, and then we throw him out and then bring another party. Why do we want him out? Because he's a bad guy. We want a good guy. This does not give you the right candidate. The right candidate can only be gotten when you have constructive approach to what you need to do, that you think the current system is not working. Then you get there and do it. Now, and our political parties, all of them are not shared by ideologies. I pitched myself even with APC after researching almost all other political parties. And I discovered most of the political parties, not all of them, most of them, I discovered that they are mostly offshoot of the APC and the PDP at the end of the day. So the APC will, you know, so they are not shaped by ideology. There are three words that shaped party ideology that each party needs to have. That once you connect them together, you naturally, even in your own home, within your family, you will see that, okay, I actually naturally belong to this. That's why you see in an advanced democracy like the United States, people are just born to be in a certain party because that's actually what shapes their ideology. You have order, you have stability, you have justice and equality. Now, for you to become a Republican, you have to favor order and stability. And for you to be a Democrat, you have to favor justice and equality. And that is why during Obama, you will see they are talking about gay rights, and we need democracy in every country. During Trump or Republicans, you don't hear that again. You hear about order. No, this country about, let's try to remove these things and change it this way. And then you now also favor stability, businesses, let people grow, let this, let that. So this is actually what shapes party ideology. And then from there, you can now have center left, center right, and then far left, and far, you know, all those kind of things. Within them, you can create them. But our political parties are not shaped by ideology at all. They are just a group of people coming together with the sole aim, and that aim is take power. Why do we need the power? We need to share money that is coming from the NNPC. And this is where the problem is. That is why you see whenever they got in there, the only thing is, let's share what we have. Now we are on the table, where is my share of the pie? And this is the problem. Nobody is driven by ideology, and that is why we don't have the right constructive criticism, because all criticism about this government is bad, we want to go and fix it. And this is a problem. This is also one of the things we need to do, which we are proposing as part of our political party reform, because I don't believe, even if I win through the APC, I don't believe we can abandon the opposition, because there are institutions that can build our ideology and the institutions that we're supposed to build tomorrow's leaders. So therefore, we will have to reform them, make them stronger, and then put them in front to produce better leaders for the future of the country.
Very good. On that note, Adamu Garba, presidential aspirant, would like to thank you for being a part of the program today, and also wish you good luck on your quest.
Thank you very much.
Thank
you.
You.
Appreciate me.
All right. Still to come on African News Hour. Kenya fails to produce Miguna for court hearing. Details in a moment.